Begin. Miss Kozal, let's start.
Okay. Let me just switch on the video. Okay. Good evening, everyone. We're glad to see you all of you here. Okay, this is the presentation about writing, how to teach writing creatively. And the presenters for today, my name is Guzal Khalmatova and my partner, Indira Rahimova. Okay, we're going to talk about how to teach writing creatively, and I want you to look at this next slide. Here we have a quotation. Okay, may I ask, just turn off your microphone because it's disturbed a little bit. Yes, please. Dear participants, just may I ask you just turn off your microphones, okay, if it's possible. Okay, anyway, we should continue. In teaching writing, I'm learning new things about writing. This is the quote about from David B. Coyer. And by this quote, sorry. Oh my God. Just, okay. Can you hear me, dear participants? I want you to
Yes, we can hear
listen.
you.
Yes, sorry, I should turn all the microphone of some of our participants because without this I can't concentrate on my presentation. Okay, anyway, in teaching writing, I'm learning new things about writing. This is the quote from the David B. Coyer. And I want to say from myself that writing in our life, it is the most important thing, in my opinion. But it also not only my opinion, but nowadays you can see in many fields we have a lot of writings. Not only in our mother tongue, but also in English, we need to write a lot of things. We need to write some of our PhD degrees, diplomas, for ours. For example, students, we should teach to our students how to make writing, and I think because our education becomes international step by step, we need to teach our students how to make writing neat and appropriate for the international standards. For this reason, we have this presentation, and we want to start with some tips and strategies how to start writing and how to organize your students to make a good writing. Okay, Miss Indira.
Okay. let's talk about now about the agenda that we are gonna cover in our webinar. Firstly, you will be familiarized with the approach of teaching writing effectively. And after that, you will be introduced with the writing process, which is very crucial in our teaching process, because without this process, we cannot get benefits from our learners, let's say. And in the last step, you will get some online and offline activities for your classes. So let's get started. So firstly, I would like to address some questions for the audience, for you. Let's imagine that you cannot write, and imagine how would your life be? Would you possess the life that you are owning now, or would it be different? How do you think about it?
May I answer?
Okay, Dilraba.
Yeah, it will be totally different because we always kind of show our opinion by writing. Sometimes we cannot speak, but we express our ideas in writing. That's why it will be totally different, because all the literature are also written in a written version. I mean, like in the books. That's why we cannot imagine our life without writing anything.
Yes, and I think the writings of different cultures also vary, yes, because the minds of the population changes and difference according to the nationality. Miss Gozal,
Yes.
something went wrong.
Something goes on. We have a chart here. That's why. Can you see a screen now?
Yeah, it's going better now. So, another, okay. Another question is like everyone is here teaching, yes? We are all teachers here in the webinar. So what problems do you face in teaching writing, in your writing classes? We know that it's uttermost part of the skills, and according to the statistics, majority of the test takers fail in writing exam. So what problems do you encounter in your writing classes?
I think the interest of students, it's difficult to make them interested in it. Actually, as a student, if I speak about myself, I also don't like writing so much. I like speaking more. but
you should love it in order to teach it, you know?
Yes, I have to laugh because while studying also I had to laugh because most of the assignments were kind of based on writing. And teaching writing requires a lot of skills at the same time. So students should be proficient in vocabulary, in grammar also as well. That's why writing is not easy so much. At the same time, you should be able to teach so many aspects and cover a lot of topics.
Yeah. You are absolutely right. And any ideas, dear teachers, dear colleagues?
May I?
Yes.
Well, teaching writing is not easy one, and mostly we face in grammar. Lots of students make mistakes, especially in grammar. But most of the difficult one in teaching writing, I think it's their opinion, their open-mindedness, their view to the world. For example, if I ask them to write any this topic and the views, it also plays a great role in writing. You have some ideas to write something. I mean that, yeah.
Yes, you are right. And other opinions? I think everyone faced this kind of problems. Yes, Ms. Gozal?
Yeah, you're right, Indira. Of course, we have a lot of problems, especially with our students when we are starting writing process. So many stuff to do with them. Okay.
Okay. So let's move to another slide in that case. Don't waste,
Mhm.
let's not waste our
Okay.
time because we
Okay.
have busy agenda for today. Mhm.
Yes, and now the thing which I want to say about this is a writing approaches. Yes, the first thing I want to say about controlled approach. First of all, we should teach the grammar. Yes, for our students on the first step. To make a writing, it is important to teach them the grammar. For the second step, this is the process of communicating, yes, of our students. Just to teach them that writing is not only words and sentences. We should teach them how to communicate with their readers, who they address their writings, and they should very aware about
Formal
that.
writings, for example.
About formal writing, and should be very concrete in their writing, addressing to audience. For example, they should know who they write. They should attract the attention of the readers. Okay, and the next approach, I think it is also something connected with the stylistic. Stylistic, it is also important in writing because we have different kind of writing, the academic writing, the narrative writing, and in this way we should teach our students how to write academic essays, or how to write for example, a story, short stories, narrative stories, maybe their own experience stories, and maybe the explorers also to journals. This is very important to teach them that stylistic also. This is the things which I want to say about these three types of approach. And the next slide about the tips of teaching. Okay, here we can say that students should understand that the process of involving many stages, the writing process, it is not limited. And here they should formulate their speech, and they need to revise their writing also. During the writing process, they should know the structure of writing, first of all, how to write the spatial forms of writings, academic writings, and different kind of writings. Okay, and the next thing which I want to say, recognize that students will encounter difficulties. All of our students, I think, have difficulties, yes. And during the writing, the Abdulazimova Suraya, she is writing, during the writing time, the ideas couldn't concentrate in place. Yeah, you're right. For some students, it is difficult to concentrate on one thing, yes, on spatial topic. As I work at school, most pupils face Zila Juraeva. She is writing that I work at school, most pupils face challenges in doing writing. I think it is because they don't know grammar deeply, and they may make some mistakes. The most vital problem in writing is they sometimes have no ideas what to write. Yes, creativity also, it is important in writing. And I think a process of writing, is not easy subject. It is not, but we should we should set some issues that we have in the writing, and we should follow this. I think we should make an action plan for making a writing process properly for our students. I know it is not easy for school teachers to make the process of writing very properly, because they have their own plans, and they have textbooks, which is not, in some textbooks we don't have enough materials for our students to make a creative writing, to make a writing for our students. But anyway, we should try, and maybe it is a problem of our education system. We don't realize yet that our students need this writing process, need to learn the writing processes.
Yes.
And I want to go back to the tips of the teaching for teaching. Plan the first thing, plan group activities that heighten students' awareness of nature of writing, help students to develop on understanding that pre-writing, drafting. Yes, this is the process of the writing. Yes, as you understand, some of our students don't know the process of the writing. They think that they can write essay in one simultaneously. For example, you give them a topic and they write it just at one lesson. But it is impossible to write an essay during the one class, during the one lesson, because sometimes we need to analyze the topic. We need to study them, the structure of. Some of our students don't know the structure of writing essays, and they even this is far away from them, how to write drafts. They don't know the draft. They don't know drafting, revising, and revising also important. It is all these things are in one. Um, it should go simultaneously, and it is unseparated things. And I think we should create our own plans for our lessons. For example, if you want to teach your students how to write, especially this is for the secondary schools. I don't know about university. I don't have enough experience with university students, but anyway, even at the universities, we don't teach our students writing properly. That's why I want you to stress your, how can I say, stress very
on writing process, yeah?
On writing process, yes.
Yeah. Miss
Thank you,
your
Nazira.
screen is green. Can I share the screen myself?
Okay.
Can you stop demonstrating the
okay.
PPT? Thank you.
Sorry.
No worries.
ها يشتغل
You see? Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible, Indira.
Mm-hmm.
We can see.
The net is working very poorly today. Okay, we covered this one and this one also. Let's move to the writing process. Yeah, Ms. Kozal, you are absolutely right in terms of the lack of experience in writing something. Yes, majority of learners consider writing as an easy job. Yeah, they think that writing is just sitting and taking paper to write, but it's not in total. Yeah, we have actually four steps of writing, good, perfect writing. The first step is pre-writing, yeah, which covers determining audience and the purpose. Here we can brainstorm our ideas, we can activate our opinions, everything that comes to our mind, and we can take one paper to write everything that is coming and streaming to our mind. And in the next step, we should draft. We should combine all the words that came to our mind as a sentence. Not just a sentence, but a coherent and cohesive sentence. After that, we should give it to our peers, or we can make self-assessment here also in order to proofread whether we wrote correctly, grammar, mechanics, or everything that covers the accurate writing. And after that, we can submit, we can present it, yeah, to the necessary places. So let's see what can we use for pre-writing in offline and in online mode. For the offline mode, we are recommending to use KWL chart. And in this chart, in the K represents what the learners know about the topic that they are going to write. And after that, in the next column, they will write what they want to know after the lesson or after the writing the essay. And you may assign them, you may make them work online here also, or they may ask each other what their peers now know about the topic, because collaboration gives more productivity, yeah. And in the third column, they may write what they learned after writing the essay. This is very good way to activate our schemata. And if we talk about the online version of this chart, we can use mindmeister.com. This is a very useful website for mind mapping, and here the learners may write their opinions about the topics, yeah, what comes to their brain, and they can make a draft here. They gather all the information here in the MindMeister, and after that they will move to the drafting step. In this part, as in the previous one, we are suggesting two online and offline versions of drafting. In the first one, pass it on. You should divide the group into pairs and ask them to exchange their work. No, sorry. Here, you will divide the group into several groups depending on the number of your students, and each group should contain 4 learners. Let's say, yeah. The first one will be responsible for the pre-writing step. Next one for the drafting. Third one for the which one? Sorry. Peer assessment, yes, sorry. And in the first people, the first learner will be responsible for demonstrating the writing. Yes, you will give the topic, and the first person will write a lot of ideas regarding the topic, and she or he will pass the ideas to the drafting responsible person, and she or he will do her or his duty, and it will go. And after that, they will get one ready writing. This will be like a group work, which is very beneficial, and you can do it online as well with the help of the drafting.com website. Here, everything as in offline mode, but you will use the internet if you are not having face-to-face classes, and like now like in a pandemic time. And one of the features of this website is that you can share it with your learners, and you can combine all four learners in one group here, and then they can work here together. And moving to the peer assessment, I would like to recommend correction symbols in checking our peers' work. Or let's say we may ask learners to check their peers' work, and you should provide them with the correction symbols handouts, like peer represents the punctuation. You will give the work to each other, and they should check the work very correct. They should correct it with some symbols. For example, if the work is missing punctuation mark here, they will not write the punctuation here. It will take a long space here. Yeah, therefore their task is to use symbols as much as possible. And this feature can be also applied in hemingwayapp.com website. This is very beneficial site for teachers as well, because it directly indicates what is missing in your writing, or what is extra in your writing, what kind of adverbs are wrong, or what you misuse in this writing. This is very helpful to make our writing perfect, and to help our learners to sound very accurately. So next activity that we are sharing is, we know that writing is not just writing sentences and that's all. No, writing should contain coherence and cohesion. And in order to make our sentences or our writing more accurate, we should use a lot of conjunctions or fanboys. Yeah, fanboys stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. They are the words that make our sentences more beautiful, more attractive. So the activity is like this. You should make a circle of learners in the classroom, and you should play a music. They stand in a circle and the music will play, and students pass an object. It can be any object, or you can bring potato as a reality at your lesson to make it more authentic. And when the music stops or the timer off, the person holding the object has to do something. For example, you may show two flashcards like for example, pizza and carrot. Yes, they have the words, but they should make a sentence with the help of the one of the fanboys. For example, I like parrot, but I don't like carrot. But these kind of sentences can differ from person to person, because our ideas also changing. And I think this kind of fanboys are very helpful to increase the awareness of our learners, in order to make their writing more perfect. So let's move to one of the interesting website that I found very appealing, not to me, but I also worked with it with my students. So in this website, you should firstly, in order to use this website, you should firstly pre-teach the punctuation marks, because these websites covers the punctuation, and you should provide the link of the website in order to make it easy for them to access the site. And you should ask learners to start the game simultaneously, because they have a race, and the person who comes to the finish firstly will win the game. So And after that, you can announce the winner according to the higher score, or it depends on your grading system. Yeah, let's say you can position them like the first place, second place, and the third place, and you can give the highest marks to those learners. So let's see how it looks like. You should click on the OK. They should click on the right punctuation mark. Okay, could you hear the voice of the game?
No, Indira, we can't hear, but I think it is
Okay,
okay.
if you couldn't hear, I will talk about the voice briefly, because the woman or the robot will say whether they chose correctly or not, and it will also increase the accuracy in terms of the punctuation marks, because if they are not doing well, they will count the scores here, like 3 answered questions are correct and 0 is incorrect. And after that, you can announce the person who scored a lot. So let's move. Another very useful and time-saving, let's say, platform or the website is called Parapal Online. What I liked in this website, that you shouldn't get prepared for the lessons a lot because everything is here. You should just click on the writing that you want to teach, and the exercises will appear in your screen. They may be like IELTS graphs, letters, and email writing exercises. They are crucial for our learners, and they can increase their proficiency in terms of letter, email, or general English exercises are here, and business English. You can choose yourself what type of writing you are going to teach your students. So, and the last not but least, in terms of the online activities, I would like to recommend and demonstrate Story Starters, which is offered by scholastic.com, but you can enter the website but by just writing Story Starters in the Google column, in the search column of the Google. And after that, you will see the website like this, Story Starters, which is offered by scholastic.com. Don't confuse, because they have more than Story Starters and you can get confused. So we are choosing this one. So after accessing the website, you will see the screen with the types of the stories, like adventure, fantasy, sci-fi, or scramble. And you choose, you may ask your students to choose one of them in order to write. But one more thing here, you should firstly teach writing letters or different kind of essays, different kind of letters to your students. This site is just for practice. So let's move. After that, after the homepage, you will see the screen that asks your name and your level. Your student's name and their level. They will choose, they will write, and after that they will see this. And another attribute of this site is that there is no need for you to create different kind of topics, or you shouldn't, or you don't have to sit and focus on only on this. But the website offers it itself. And if you click on the spin button here, this kind of parts of speech will appear in the screen. And for example, if you want to write about an invisible, yes, let's say, you should spin the wheel and it will change the word here. Or you can change the word here or here. It depends on your aim and purpose or taste. So after that, you will click on the next button, and here you can see notebook, letter, newspaper, and postcard. All of them have different kind of writing formats, but your learners may be attracted to the animations that are used in each format of the writing, which is very creative. And after
Yes.
that, you can write, and your writing will be in this, like this. As you can see, their writing will appear like this with animations, and each type of type of writing will change its animations. And I think this kind of animations will attract our learners' attention, and they may be involved in writing classes a lot. We can make the boring writing classes more appealing and attractive to our learners. So let's try to save our document. How can we save it? Download. There is a download button here. You can click on it, and after that it will automatically save the file into PDF file. And you can get it in like this. And they can send it to you through the web, through the email, or different kind of social platforms. So let's go to offline activities. Ms. Kozal.
Yes, sorry. Okay, the next activity is for offline teaching. Here you can see the instruction for this activity, and the name of this activity, writing back and forth stories. Yes, this is activity for. Thank you, Indira, for your interesting tools. They are writing in a chat box. Okay,
Thank you.
and takes a little creativity and a lot of flexibility. How long can you? Okay, this is very simple, but anyway, it is creative writing also for our younger learners. Yes, for maybe even for adult, even for how can teenagers or the just for 11th grade
Adults.
learners. It will be also interesting activity. Yes, for adults also it is interesting. They in this activity they should create their own story, and how long they can do it. If after 2 minutes they should pass to each other this their writing, and who will stop after 2 minutes, he will just fail. And the winner is who can continue this story without interruption. Yes, and the another thing uh, which I want to
Mention, yeah.
yes. Can you show the another slide? Yes. This is how can I say? This is the process of writing. Yes, this is a process of writing. Continue the story. Write for 2 minutes. Write for 2 minutes. Pass the story to the writing partner. The partner continues the story where you left off, and writes for 2 minutes before passing the story. Continue writing and passing the story every 2 minutes. How long can you keep the story going? What happens inside the house? This is I think it is a good activity for the secondary school learners. And not only for the secondary school learners, also for students, it's a good practice in their creativity, how they can, um, and for their imagination also. Okay. And the next activity which I want to represent you, this is a comics stripe script. This is also a very interesting activity for young learners, and not only for young learners. You can make a something like comics for them. From my own experience, I can say that some our pupils at school, yes, learners, they even don't know how to create dialogues. And in this way, you can teach the young learners how to make a dialogues between two people or group of people. It is very good practice for them to make sentences also. And the process, you should create these lists or handouts for your students and just distribute them to your students. And also you should write this. There are two ways to do this activity. The first requires your source or create a comic stripe minus to the dialogue the character are speaking. This may be straightforward as using the whiteboard or whiteboard, yes. And you should you also can use the whiteboard for this activity. You should also write or picture the people on the creatures on your board, and then you can easily erase this the words of these creatures. And there is an alternative for this activity. Students with the photographs. You can also provide your students with the photographs or pictures, and students can write about these people on the pictures or on the photos, and write their dialogues, or and they can do it together in a pairs or in a group. They also can do it. Okay, this is thanks for offline activities. You can do it, but I think you can do it also like an online activities also. You can just put on a
You can
screen.
modify, yeah?
Yes, modify this. You can modify these activities also for online
Version.
learners. Yes, online
Okay.
version.
Thank you, Ms. Gozal, for such kind of interesting activities,
Thank you.
which we can use in our writing lessons. So, as time is passing, let's move to the reflection part. Yeah. Dear colleagues, we want to address to you with the question: what is your writing activity? What can you share with others from your experience? Any volunteers? Do we have any volunteers?
You're welcome to write in a chat box. It's also chat box. Sorry. Can you hear? Indira, I can't hear, but.
Can you hear me? Okay, dear teachers.
Try to be active.
Yes, and you can also share your opinions about the pros or the cons of the webinar, which can work well or which cannot work well in our writing classes.
Maybe you have your own experience, dear colleagues. Have you any experience? Can you tell us about your own experience about writing, how you organize writing process in your schools, in your universities? Okay, we have a chat here. Gulbahar is writing. I liked the process writing so much. Very useful for learners. Thank you for mentioning about it. Okay, thank you, Gulbahar. Okay, Indira, I think especially your presentation and your activities were very interesting for our colleagues, for teachers, and not only for teachers. I think it will be interesting for students too, because by these activities they can practice their writing, even especially for teachers. I think, don't you think, dear teachers, that now for SAFER we also need practice the writing of emails and letters, because we also have the opportunity to get some more salary by this way. And it was also very informative for me. Even for me, I found very interesting things from the activities which Indira represent us today.
Barno Tukhta Nazarova raised her hand. Maybe she wants to speak.
Yes. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for today's valuable webinar. It was really helpful for everybody, I think. As for me, writing, of course, is one of the challenging part of the teaching, because as many students don't like and don't want to concentrate on during this writing class, these kind of interactive games and ways of engaging which you have shown will be very helpful. And well, sometimes I try to attract them while, let's say, for example, for the beginning, I may put a video which can attract them, or music. And after that, I can give short time, about 10 minutes. So write down whatever comes to your mind, or I'll say, let's just imagine you were in this situation, what would you do? So by this way, they try somehow to write. And actually, it's not about
Yes.
academic writing, but this is also can help to improve their writing skills.
But I think your method is very interesting for the learners because every academic writing starts with the general writing, yeah? And if they proceed with this kind of writings, they can easily write academic writing and get higher scores in different kind of international certificates, yeah, tests.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Okay. And do we have any volunteers? Okay, if we don't have any volunteers, we want to thank all of you for participating in our webinar. We do hope that these activities will be very handy in your writing classes, and we do hope that your learners will be involved and engrossed in the writing. Yeah, Ms. Kozal?
Yes, I think it will be very useful for our students to learn from such kind of resources which you represent us today. Even for me, it is very interesting, and I think in the future I also will use these resources from the internet, and I recommend it to all teachers just to explore the internet and just to find something interesting for your students, especially now in pandemic time. We can do it online and interest our students not only with their regular stuff, but extra lessons.
Yes. Okay. Thank you everyone, and goodbye.